Hello and welcome to the channel for today's video. Today's video is about very important topic in chemistry, thermochemistry, also called thermodynamics. It's also called energetics. So let's quickly start the learning objectives for today's video. So following objectives we are going to discuss today. We're going to talk about what is energy, history of energy, types of energies. There are three main types we will see in detail in this video. And finally, we are going to talk about the difference between thermal energy or heat and temperature. So very quickly, let's continue to the objectives for today. The first objective for today is history of energy. So before we talk about energetics, guys, energetics is the branch of chemistry that deals with the study of energy changes in chemical reactions. So before we go to that part, we should know a bit about the background of energy. So what exactly energy is? So the very first source of energy on this earth is sun. So with sun, we started getting the sunlight, and all the other processes of energy transfer started after that. Now let's continue to the next objective, the types of energies, and then we will also see the heat and temperature. What's the difference? So there are following main types of energies we are going to focus in this chapter. Number one, radiant energy. Radiant energy is actually the electromagnetic radiations that come from the sun, guys. Then thermal energy. Thermal energy is actually the energy associated with random movement of molecules. So we also call it heat energy in simple terms. They have chemical energy, also called chemical potential energy. So that's the energy stored within the bonds of a substance. For example, then we have chemical energy, also the energy stored in the molecules of petroleum. So when we ignite it, it gives huge amount of heat to run engines and machines. And then potential energy, finally, the potential energy is the energy available to an object by virtue of its position. Let's quickly now understand the difference between heat and temperature. Alright guys, so what is heat actually? So heat is the transfer of thermal energy between two bodies in contact, or the two bodies connected by a thermal conductor. Now this is different from temperature. Temperature is actually the degree measure of thermal energy, or the degree measure of hotness or coldness of an object. So remember, heat is measured in joules, it's a form of energy, whereas temperature is measured in kelvins. I'll give you one example. If we have two tanks that have water, if the tanks are in the same level and they have 5 liters of water, and we connect them by a pipe and open the tap, what will happen? Pause the video and tell me, where will the water flow? Alright, so you must have answered the question. The question answer is the water will not flow because both the tanks are at the same level and both are connected, so the water will not flow, guys. Now let's take this example in another scenario. We have two tanks again, and these two tanks, one tank has 5 liters of water, one tank has 3 liters of water, and the 3-liter tank is on the top at a height. What will happen? Pause the video and answer, where will the water flow? Alright guys, so the answer is the water will flow now, and in this case the water will flow from the tank at a height with 3 liters of water to down the tank with 5 liters. Yes, that's correct. The tank at the height has less water. Still water will flow from height to down. So what can we conclude from this, guys? We can conclude that the flow of water does not depend on the amount in the tanks. It depends on the level of water. Wherever the level is high, the water will flow from there to the lower level. Similarly, we can relate this to heat and temperature. The flow of heat between two objects does not depend on the amount of heat. It depends on the temperature. So temperature, whatever level does for water, same temperature does for heat. The temperature of the two objects decide the flow of heat. So if two objects A and B have same heat, 100 joules, 100 joules, but the temperature of A is 10 degrees, the temperature of B is 50 degrees. Pause the video and answer, where will the heat flow? Alright, so the heat will flow from B to A because the temperature of B is higher than the temperature of A. Though both have same heat, guys.